What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Toucher the Poet, and my brother, Son Soul X, in his joint. Check it out. Hit us up, www.kingandilife.com, for all our podcast info. Subscribe to whatever podcast platform that you choose. Also, hit us up, KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. Email us your suggestions, your feedback, and all that good stuff. Tune in to us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share, because we are all over all those social media platforms. Stay tuned for the good stuff. Yeah, we out. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the King and I Life podcast. It's your boy, Soul Toucher the Poet, and my brother,
Sounds so lights.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we about to get into a discussion here. We're gonna call this separating famous people from their ill acts or alleged ill acts. I'm sure we're gonna have very, very, very contrasting views on this, but I'm gonna give a shout out to Black Man Unfiltered, because I was on YouTube earlier today, and he pretty much did a topic on this. But before we get into this, Son Solex, what you got for the people?
Of course, you guys can reach out to us at KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. Again, it's King and I 369@gmail.com for any questions, comments. If you would like to come onto the platform and chop up a specific topic, or if you just want to send in a topic, you got our email. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks to all of the people who have emailed us. We appreciate their love and support. And of course, you guys can find us on all of the major podcast platforms. We on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course. We even got Patreon. So we out here in these streets, man. Holla at your boys.
Yes, holla at your boys. All right. So I found the video. Black Man Unfiltered Network. The title of this episode on his channel is, Can the Black Community Separate the Art from the Artist? So we're going to give our didn't get a chance to listen to that episode on his channel. That video is actually like 3.5 hours long. I'd be interested in seeing some of the comments on that. So I thought that was a very interesting topic, because for the longest time in our communities, and I mean our communities, we have this thing where society makes this big shift of either condemning people, aka canceling them, or overlooking the unsavory things that they do to support the individual person's craft. So me and Senso Lex was talking before we hopped on this, and what I did was I compared R. Kelly to Thomas Jefferson. And what I compared, the comparisons and that I made with them is that allegedly, or however you want to look at it, I'm gonna keep to my thought process. They both raped and enslaved women. Thomas Jefferson is a co-signer of the Constitution. He is one of the first couple of presidents, um, and throughout history, he's attached to a lot of prominent things in the founding of this nation. R. Kelly, on the other hand, is a um, highly regarded singer, songwriter, producer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. To me, for me, um, I haven't actively listened to any R. Kelly music um, for a very long time. And if I can help it, uh, if an R. Kelly song comes on, I skip past it. Because for me, um, not that I'm perfect, but I just have a problem supporting people who do things that are just that I think are just demeaning to other people. Um, Thomas Jefferson has been going off this planet for over 100 years, so there's nothing about him that I really can say that I support. Um, it would be kind of um, how do I want to put it? It would be kind of unrealistic if I said I'm not going to handle the currencies that have his face on them because that would just be crazy. Um, Not crazy, crazy, but it would just be extra. Don't give me nothing with Thomas Jefferson on it. So there may be a little, I might get a little pushback on that. So, Sun Solex, what is your thoughts so far?
Um, I just think that when it comes down to our community, I feel like some of the entertainers from our communities are held in a different uh, light, to put it kindly, than some of their
Mm-hmm.
uh, Caucasian counterparts. I feel like there's a gray area where some people tend to try to hang out in when it comes down to some of our celebrities. But at the end of the day, you have to call an injustice an injustice, a crime a crime. Um, so I don't know. It just it's one of those things that we as um, melanated people we tend to have more sympathy for people based off of their talents and their gifts as opposed to the crimes they may have committed. We're willing to overlook those crimes because the gifts that these individuals possess have given so much um, positive influence, if I can say that, to a certain degree within our own community. So I think that's where the mix up or the breakdown happens, where we want to overlook certain individuals because their gifts are so powerful and so great that we often forget that behind the gift there is a person, and no person on this
Mm-hmm.
earth is perfect as far as we know, or we've been told anyway.
Hmm. I kind of when I look back at the title of Black Man Unfiltered's that particular episode, um, like I made the comparison of Thomas Jefferson and R. Kelly. But in his according to the title of his video, can the black community separate the art from the artist? Now, if we strictly keep it black community and what these artists are doing or accused of doing, and compare it to their art, um, that's our responsibility to focus on our community and our artists, and not throw Caucasians or the system or this, that, and the other into this conversation. So I have to remove the Thomas Jefferson comparison out of this conversation to keep it focused. And that's my bad. Um, but I do agree with you because we have a lot of artists out there who make great music, great athletes out there, great politicians, this, that, and the other, and they do great things. And yes, they're human, but in their real lives, their lives outside of whatever they do, you know, I think that's bad for our community. And I personally do not think we should hold them in such high regard in comparison to what they do, because we go down this path of other people mimicking their behavior, and it's a vicious cycle that keeps going on and on and on. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I definitely get those sentiments because a lot of times, again, we're looking at for example, the songs that they may put out,
Mm-hmm.
or the movies they may play in, or the final game in Game 6 of the World Series,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever the case may be. That moment in time where that person performed at their highest ability, and it brought joy within the viewers or the
Mm-hmm.
spectators. So then when we look at the opposite side of that person, meaning we separate the gift from the person, and the person is doing or have done, crimes, it's like, for us, for some reason, we just want to, well, that really wasn't that bad, or, they just after him because of so and so and so and so, or throwing out the whole race card there, or whatever the case may be. We have to stop doing that. We have to take accountability for the actions that these individuals take within our communities. Because 9 times out of 10, they're doing it to people within our community that they look like.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just one of those things. I think that because we're such caring people and loving people, and the whole programming thing, and I know we're not supposed to bring that in, but it does play a part to a certain degree, I think. Turn the other cheek. Forgive the people who have done an injustice to you. We can't keep that same mentality. We can do that shit for everybody else, but when it's one of our own, it strikes us in a totally different chord, because you don't want to believe this person has done that, but the facts is the facts. If you believe the facts,
um, you were talking about the programming. Um, yes, we don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but it is a factor. I do agree it is a factor because um, we have that slave mentality, so to speak, to where so many of our people are walking around with self-induced PTSD from shit that happened to our people 2, 3, 400 years ago, or however long ago. Even what's this 2020? Even 60 years ago. Um, but my thing is this: if you were not there physically, I can't. I personally cannot understand how much PTSD that an individual has. Um, like I grew up in a crazy, my upbringing was crazy, and I don't suffer PTSD. I don't think I suffer PTSD from any of that. And what I mean by that is I'm not repeating or I'm not stagnated in life from any of those things that happened to me or that I witnessed. So I look at this issue as, you know, a little bit of hypocrisy and ignorance. And I say that because when you have an athlete, that a beloved athlete, a beloved entertainer, whether they're a singer, rapper, or an actor or actress or whatever the case may be, depending on that alone and their status in there, some of this nonsense is overlooked. Like it's literally overlooked. Like again, R. Kelly, for instance, you know, he had the sex tape out where he was having sex with the teenage girl. He married Aaliyah, who was 16 years old. Um, he did all of these things to women who were underage, of age, whatever the case may be. And people still shake their ass to his music. Still say, "Oh, I don't care what he did. I'm still gonna play his music." Still get married to his music. Still make love to his music. Um, and they don't care. But let's look at the average person in the black community who does the same thing. That person is condemned from here to Tahiti.
Yeah, that's true. Um, Local celebrities don't get any slack.
Hell, the average person doesn't get slapped.
No, they don't. I don't know, man. It's kind of like that old saying, the old crabs in a barrel type bullshit, which I have.
Do you think it's crabs in a barrel though? I mean, it's a weird type of crabs in a barrel.
It is. It is. I think for some reason in our society, we love to build people up and to knock them down. And the reason or the correlation I'm making here is when it comes down to our people, um, it's always our people attacking our people first.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the correlation of the whole crabs in a barrel. But what people fail to realize or understand is if this person has done an injustice or something horrible like what R. Kelly has done, then it's kind of like they want to look the other way and say, well, this man, you know, was the reason why I got 3 kids or some
Mm-hmm.
craziness like that.
Exactly.
But you can't bring that in as a factor. Yes, he's a talented artist. Yes, he makes great music. Yes, he's brought millions of smiles, to people's faces and warmed their hearts with his music. Do I still listen to R. Kelly? I'll be honest. If a R. Kelly song is on, I'm gonna listen to it. Do I go out of my way to listen to it? No, I don't.
Mm,
But again, that's just my personal uh, view of it. I guess you can say.
mm-hmm.
But again, I have to take my personal view and feelings and toss them out the window because again, we're looking at what's right and what's wrong. And this man was found in a court of law to be guilty of the crimes he was accused of. Now, do I believe he did everything they said he did? Nope. Hell no, I don't believe it. Do I think he did some of the things they said he did? Yes. Unfortunately, because when you surround yourself with young girls, even if you saying that they are of age, but they're not of age, it's kind of hard to believe what you're saying when the proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It's just hard for I think our people to just stick to the facts. They want to go by their emotions and their life experiences with certain celebrities. You want to
Hmm.
believe that that celebrity is a good person or they are what they claim to represent themselves as.
You know, you brought up a couple of good points that I want to touch on. The first one was, you know, how you were saying that he was accused in a court of law. Um, he was also accused in a court of public opinion.
Sure.
Um, so when we look at that, we got to ask the question, which one weighs heavier, the court of law or the court of public opinion? Because there are more people. I mean, I know there's different levels to how you weigh that,
All right.
but if you want to make a comparison, there are more people in this world who feel like he's guilty of what he did in comparison to the amount of courts that he's been in and been found guilty. Um, so when you look at that aspect of it, it's like, okay, well, he got convicted in the court of law. He definitely got convicted in the court of public opinion, regardless of what these people's faces look like, what their skin tone is. Um, and then you said you were talking about, do you believe that he did all of it? You said no. Did he do some of it? Yeah. Um, in my opinion, when it comes to that, I don't. Me personally,
Mm-hmm.
because there are people who can agree with you. You know, do I believe all of it? No, I don't believe all of it. I know it might be something out there. For me personally, I don't care if it was one, two, three, four, 5, 15, 100, whatever. I don't care how many it is. For me, one is too many. One is too many. Um, marrying 16-year-old Aaliyah is too much for me. Bruh, you in your 30s marrying a 16-year-old girl. I can't. I can't. When I look at that one alone, I'm like, bruh. Yes, I did still listen to his music after I heard about this, that, and the other. I still listen to his music after uh, that tape came out. Um, so yeah, I can say, but damn, whatever. But for it to keep happening, keep happening, and it's like at some point I got to be like, you know what, I can't even support this because for me it's like if I'm okay supporting his art and he's accused and convicted of doing this, then I should be okay with anybody who does that. And if that's something that I don't rock with, if the average person do it, I shouldn't be able to rock it with it because this entertainer does it.
I get that. Um, it's one of those things of, again, when I say I don't believe all of it, I don't, because it's kind of like when someone throws mud on your name, right? The mud is there. Like, let's take for example Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
This man went through, the whole divorce and ended up giving her like seven something million in their original divorce case, and she slanders his name. She accuses him of all these false, accusations. So he sues her in a civil case. It was found that she was wrong and he won the case, but going back to the court of public opinion, even though the man's innocent, the damage is done. He can never get his original reputation back because, again, in public's eye, even though he was found innocent of what she accused him of, some people are still going to see him as the person she slandered him to be. So it's kind of like the situation with R. Kelly. I don't know how many females he actually slept with underage. I don't know, but I don't see it being as many as they said he did. And I'm not trying to take any um, or shine any light on it in a positive direction, because again, like you said, one is too damn many. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're going by facts and you're going by opinion, I think when it comes down to public opinion, it weighs more than what the actual facts are. So again, whether
Mm-hmm.
he slept with one or slept with 100, it doesn't make a difference to them. They're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
their opinion. They're gonna look at him in the same light. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. But I can't even throw Johnny Depp into this. For me, I can't throw him into this equation because you know it's not like he has a history of doing whatever he was accused of, and it was ultimately um found that she was lying. Um, you know, not to pick on R. Kelly, but um, we have others. Like even if you look at Prince, um, even if you look at Whitney Houston, even if you look at who else can we say? Hell, I'll throw Michael Jordan in there. Um, you know, Prince, drugs, and whatever else he was accused of in life. Whitney Houston, drugs, and bad attitude. Michael Jordan, bad attitude. A lot of people have called him a jerk, a ass, and this, that, and the other. Um, and all three of those individuals were considered great in their lane. Um, so just because they were great in their lane, do you sit back and say, well, damn, yeah, they were great in their lane, but you look at what led to the opinion of people of them, and for all accounts and intents and purposes of the conversation, the things about them were true. Prince was addicted to pain meds or whatever the case may be. Whitney Houston was a drug addict, and Michael Jordan was an ass. Um, but all too many times, these people get their praises and their shortcomings